You are listening to the Beard Brothers Fantasy Football Podcast, a part of the Four Beardsmen Sports Network.
Hello there, and welcome to the Beard Brothers Fantasy Football Podcast. I am Beard Brother Dylan.
And I'm Beard Brother AJ.
And we are here on the eve of the quarantine epic that will be the NFL draft.
The virtual draft.
Yes, to discuss a couple things here. We've got a little bit of news. We've got a new segment that's going to last just this week, the Rookie Roulette. We're going to name some best landing spots in our idea to make these rookies fantasy relevant. And then with it coming out in the last month, the remake of Final Fantasy VII, we have our Final Fantasy Guess Who of the year.
Sephiroth.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Barrett. So we'll go over two each for that to kind of fill out some time here.
We can jump. Speaking of that, I just realized this is still sitting next to me.
Yeah, I saw your post earlier today.
Who needs remakes?
Pretty good. Hopefully my audio is a little bit better with my new headset. So
you sound
apologize.
Quispy.
Did you see me use that on Alex's Reds thing? Yeah.
Quispy.
So item number one, of course, the big news, the big man's back. That 6'7" behemoth motherfucker. Gronk got traded from the Patriots.
I didn't even know he was still on contract with them. Like, yes, did they just own the rights to him?
Mm-hmm.
Essentially,
yeah, he still had 1 year, $10 million left on his deal. They traded him to the Buccaneers. The Patriots did, for a 4th-round pick and a 7th-round pick. Honestly, it's a good deal for both teams. Gronk wasn't going to come back and play for the Patriots to play with Jarrett Stidham, and
I heard, and this could just be speculation because it's the internet and you never fucking know. I heard a lot of it actually had to do with Belichick as well. Because I've heard a lot that
was just
he doesn't get along with Bill. There's bad rapport between the two of them, and he's like, Tom's my quarterback, and that's where I'm going.
Yeah, and there's memes aplenty of Edelman and how he unfollowed Tom on Instagram, and
my favorite's the SpongeBob one where Patrick and SpongeBob are just running, and it's
frolicking.
Edelman and Squidward just peeking out the window.
Yep. But yeah, there's memes aplenty about how scorned Edelman feels. But it's honestly, I don't know. I don't like it for the Bucs. Honestly, you go from
OJ Howard's fucked.
Yeah, we'll talk about that here in a little bit. But you go from a young, hyper athletic tight end who honestly was criminally underutilized last year.
Oh yeah,
did underperform in the shine he was given, but it sucks because he's probably going to be moving on, and they get an old 31-year-old injury prone tight end.
Yep.
Well, the Patriots kind of make out with a 4th-round pick and a 7th-round pick. So,
I heard. I don't think, because I think the Bucs sent a 4th round and they got a 7th and Gronk.
I thought it was.
I think that's
how
that
might have been what it was. Okay. Either way, if you get a pick out of it, a 4th-round pick. 7th-round picks usually don't make the team.
Yeah, and a 4th-round pick, I'm pretty sure there's going to be a decent tight end in there somewhere.
Yeah, if they want to go that route.
Yeah, because I think they need one in New England.
Desperately. They should. I was going to bring that up because I talked to you about it. They should have asked for OJ Howard back, like straight up.
Just trade.
Like if Bruce Arians doesn't believe in OJ Howard, why not? I mean,
if you're going to bring in Gronk, obviously you're okay with losing OJ.
Yeah, and clearly the Patriots won that trade, but at that point, like, just don't send back a pick. Just do a straight up trade, and then Patriots end up with a better tight end.
Yep.
Because clearly, like I said, the Bucs don't believe in him. There's multiple reports coming out that the Falcons are going to be movers and shakers on draft day. They're looking to move up anywhere from the 2 spot, which will be really difficult. They'll have to give up like their first next year and another second to move up that far from where they at 14.
Yeah.
Or no, no. They are 16. Yeah, because they're right before the Cowboys. So to move up to second, they'd have to give up their 16th pick this year. They'd have to give up a first next year, maybe another second or third this year, or definitely one of those two, just to be able to move up that far. Because
But what would they move up for?
Chase Young, 100%.
Yeah.
If they were able to get to the 2 spot. Now, if they're moving up to the 8th spot, they're probably looking at like C.J. Henderson or playing it safe to make sure they get K'Lavon Chase on. So
basically just kind of help out the defense.
It worked several years ago, if you remember everything that they gave up, I believe, to the Browns, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong on that. For Julio Jones, I remember they gave up a first that current year and another first round the year after just to be able to get Julio. So
look what that's done for him.
Yeah, Arthur Blank likes to make moves on draft day. Broncos are another one rumored to be trying to move up to get their wide receiver that they want. A couple other people heard a couple things that the Browns might want to move down.
Yeah, which I just now heard before we started recording, which made me sad.
Lions are probably looking to move down. Everyone knows about that one. So Giants could be a nice trade down spot too if anyone's looking to get one of those 2 quarterbacks in Herbert or Tua Tagovailoa.
You put an N in there every time. There's no N in his name.
There isn't, but it's pronounced with an N.
Are you
sound.
sure?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Every time you say it, I just thought you were fucking it up.
Mm-hmm. No. And then apparently, from Bleacher Report, Cowboys may look to select a quarterback. These guys right here may look to select a quarterback in the 2nd or 3rd round as a supplement to Dak, and maybe not being able to get his contract done and letting him go at the end of this next upcoming year. So that would make me hyper sad. I got another Dak jersey sitting right over there. He's not a top 6, 7 quarterback in the league, if you ask me, but he's definitely in that like 8 to 12 range.
He's definitely a QB1 as far as fantasy goes.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. He has been every one of his 4 years.
I don't think he's been outside the top 10.
Yeah, I think you might be right on that. But yeah, it sucks. I just wish something could get done that maybe he'd understand. Like, hey, if I took $30 million a year, he wants 35 plus from everything I'm hearing. So if
why
he just take 30, he could get the deal done, still be a Campbell Soup guy, and make money from just being the Dallas Cowboys quarterback. But
yeah,
we'll see what happens come tomorrow, or today if you're listening to this, or Friday. More than likely is when they would make one. If they do, Anthony Gordon's my guy. I like Anthony Gordon a lot from Washington State.
So it's not a name I was familiar with. So
I believe that's him. I'm going to double check that now. Anthony Gordon, WSU. Yeah, that's him. I'm going to look up his stats here. I haven't got to watch a whole lot of tape on him. Scouts that I follow and trust a bit are still pretty high on him. Now, he did have a lot of interceptions, and I'm assuming this is being a byproduct of his system, but still had 5,500 yards passing, almost 56, 48 touchdowns, and 16 interceptions in 2019. So
yes, I just brought up his stats here on my end too.
Able to sling it 71.6. Oh, I'm getting a little ad here. Close out of that. All right. So let's go back to what we have on the docket. O.J. Howard, naturally, with Gronk coming in, seems like he's moving on elsewhere. Where do you like him best and why?
Green Bay.
Yeah, that's the number one consensus. Honestly, I completely understand why. Just personally, I think it would help out Joe Burrow so much if they were to trade like their 3rd, maybe 4th round pick, depending on what the Bucs are willing to take, just to get rid of him. Because I feel like he's honestly at this point just going to be a fucking headache with him already sharing time with Cameron Brate and now Gronk coming in.
Yeah, and Cameron Brate was a decent tight end, so
yeah,
him being behind Gronk would help.
I can't beat out these fucking older white guys. Just give me what I deserve.
Yeah, so I think if I see – because did they get rid of Eifert?
The Bengals, yes. Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought.
He's a Jaguar. He's a Jaguar now.
Yeah.
They still have C.J. Uzomah.
Okay. So I could see Cincy making a move to get him. because it would, as you said, help out Burrow a ton.
And he's a phenomenal pass and run blocker as well.
Yes, big time. Yeah. So
slap a
but I think Green Bay is probably the best landing spot for him. I think with the way Jimmy Graham was used when he was actually useful in football, with Aaron Rodgers was a good thing that could be transferred to Aaron Rodgers in the Green Bay offense. Yep. And as you said, he is a good run blocker, and they like to fucking run. I mean, you got Aaron Jones and I can't think of the other guy.
Jamal Williams.
Yeah, that guy, SpongeBob.
Yeah. Olaf.
Yeah. And it's like you got a double threat in that backfield that could use some extra run block. Why not bring in OJ Howard? I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah,
Aaron Jones. I don't know what they would have to give up for him, but
it would be a nice tiebreaker if OJ Howard went there as good of a run blocker as he is. I would maybe spike up Aaron Jones a spot or two where he's at.
Agreed.
So,
but saying, and not to cut you off there.
Oh, you're good, man. Go ahead.
But if he did go to Cincinnati, I would be higher on Joe Mixon if he stays in Cincy.
Yes.
I'd be a lot higher.
There's still big issues with him because he's potentially holding out.
Yep.
So as of right now, that he loses the tie break, and I tweeted this out that at this point, if you're drafting for redraft purposes, or I doubt redraft purposes. If you are, that's kind of dumb. If you're doing like a startup dynasty, though, Joe Mixon kind of loses the tie break with guys like Aaron Jones, Derrick Henry, Josh Jacobs, guys in his tier that are for sure going to be there next year. So
yeah, unfortunate because Joe Mixon really came alive the back half of last season.
Oh, so yes, he did.
He was a fucking machine that back half.
He was a man.
The manliest man.
So we're going to move on to our new segment, the Rookie Roulette, and talk about some landing spots here.
Real quick, I've noticed like every one of the segments you make, they're all alliterations.
Yeah.
I don't know. Brothers. We're like 40,000 episodes into this, and it's like really starting to click in.
I do that every time on purpose because we're the Beard Brothers. So
fair enough.
I want to have alliterative titles for our segments. So Rookie Roulette. Quarterbacks start with number 1 with Burrow. Honestly, the best landing spot is Cincinnati.
He's an Ohio kid.
Yeah, there's better talent in different places, but he deserves to be the number 1 pick and show that he can bring a donkey of a franchise like the Bengals
up to somewhat relevancy.
Yeah, so
because since he has decent weapons.
Mm-hmm. They're getting Jonah Williams back, their first round pick from last year. Getting him back and healthy, hopefully from after his ACL injury last year. He didn't even play a single game. He got injured in the preseason, if you remember. They're getting back AJ Green on his franchise tag. Yep. And then Tyler Boyd's still there. Jesus. Why can't I think of the big dude's name? Oh, it's right there. Auden Tate.
Okay, the real Golden Tate.
Yeah, he's still there. So if they were able to bring in a tight end or maybe draft a tight end in like the 3rd or 4th round, like Kyle Kmet or Akbuwanajan or whatever the fuck his name is.
Is that? I know who you're talking about.
Yeah,
though.
the big O from Missouri.
Yeah. God, that was a good anime.
Or Iowa.
Sorry.
Was he from? I can't remember.
I don't know. You said the big O, and my brain went anime.
Yeah. But yeah, I honestly think I'm pretty sure we're in agreement here on this one.
Yeah.
Now Tua, do you have a spot you'd prefer him to land?
Tua's a bit of a wild card. There's
the Raiders.
God. After they just brought in fucking Mariota.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. Like it's tough.
And we're trying to go with realistic options. Like we could say the Patriots. I understand there's talks that he could slide in the draft. I don't see him sliding that far. I don't see him even sliding far enough for somebody to want to trade with the Patriots. And I just don't know if I know he's a Bama guy, and there's that Nick Saban, Bill Belichick connection with them being good friends. But I don't see him falling far enough. So
if I had to choose him going anywhere, I mean, everywhere says Miami.
Yeah.
Everything. I mean, aside from this other mock that we just looked at.
But do you think that's the best landing spot for him?
Honestly, yes.
Yeah,
I
and
think
he could sit behind. Fitzpatrick showed that he's a serviceable starting
Well,
quarterback.
that's the thing. I'm actually looking at this other draft. I would like to see him go to the Chargers.
Yes, that is my answer as well. I think the Los Angeles Chargers are a perfect landing spot for him. Now, their offensive line isn't great. They did make some moves this offseason to kind of shore up their offensive line a little bit. So, but he's got good escapability. He's no like Kyler Murray or Lamar Jackson, of course, but he still has very good escapability.
He's got good mobility.
The pocket. Yeah. We'll see how it looks after his hip recovery. But
yeah. Well, the little bit of stuff I've seen, the little bit of tape he's put out since his, surgery and everything, he looks pretty good. So, but there wasn't a whole lot of mobility in that. There was,
you can't really tell. It
was just him chucking the football.
He's a gym class hero.
So, but I think with the targets that are there in LA, especially, you got Eckler in the backfield.
LA.
In LA, you got Eckler in the backfield. You got Keenan Allen. Is it Mike Williams?
Yep, Mike Williams, tall ass. His 6'4" ass.
And I forget. It's Hunter Henry. Yeah, and I forget their other receivers out.
They don't. I believe Travis Benjamin's gone, so we'll see who's going to slide up. They have Jason Moore, if you remember. Oh, lost me there for a second. My battery.
Lost you.
Yeah, my battery thing popped up.
Oh, yeah. So I think with the targets around him, and Tyrod's still going to get the start.
Mm-hmm.
There's no way you're getting around that. But I think Tyrod, the way those two play football, I think it would good to see Tyrod play and him being in front of Tua for at least a year.
And let Tua sit for at least half the season, I would say.
So, I think we're both in agreement on that one as well. Him going to L.A.
Mm-hmm. And now, personally for me, for Herbert, I think it would do him some good to fall a little bit. My pick for him is honestly the Patriots, because he's at least realistic where I could see him fall to 17, 18, where where the Patriots are at 23, I believe. So
yes,
that's not an unrealistic jump for them to move up from 23 to 17.
Looking at this mock, I didn't scroll that far down. Mm-hmm. They got the Patriots taking Cole Kmet.
Oh, yeah, that's a bit of a reach.
Yeah, they should have went for O.J. Howard.
Yeah, if you're trading it for using a first-round pick on a tight end, I know Kmet's younger and O.J. Howard's 25, but still, I think O.J. Howard would be the best tight end in this draft class. So.
Just to immediately fill in.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm with you. Like I mentioned it, I think on the episode we did with Alex and AJ too, Electric Boogaloo, that I could have seen. I saw mock saying that Herbert fell down that far, and I think I'm saying a lot today, and I don't know why, but the way he plays and the way the Patriots play, I think it'd be a good match for him.
Yeah, and it's tough. I'm usually down on quarterbacks that are over 6'5" because they just kind of fall apart. They don't play well. He's shown some inaccuracy issues, and I'm worried we're going to see it like a Brock Osweiler kind of thing with him, or Paxton Lynch, both of the Broncos. So, but yeah, I get worried about that. Jordan Love for me, there's two honestly. If he were to go to the Saints or to the Packers, if he lands in either one of those spots.
I agree with you, but I think he falls out of the first round.
Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me either.
I think he'll be a second rounder.
Yeah. So let's see. Do you still have a spot for him? Because I feel like he'd still go early second, because just from quarterback, being such a prominent position, he'd still be up there.
Who's got what in the second round? Is it the same order?
The Browns.
No, stop it. Just stop it. They got Case Keenum if anything happens.
Yeah, I know.
Case Keenum's still serviceable. I can see him going to Green Bay because who's his backup right now? Who's playing backup for Rodgers?
God, I don't remember.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, like, bring in Jordan Love, have him sit behind Rodgers for the
Probably
next
for
year. Maybe
2, 3. Yeah, 2 or 3.
Because Rodgers has still got plenty of life left in him. If
He's 36, and these guys are going till 40
Manet
now.
doesn't explode again, so
Mm-hmm.
I could see him going to Green Bay. I'd like that landing spot for him.
Alrighty. Real quick, too, I realize because we're on video now, I got to be a little more touchy with what I bring in the screen. I am drinking vitamin water, but hashtag not a sponsor. So I just want to let everybody know.
Hashtag not a sponsor.
Yeah,
you got to say those things if we're on video.
We get 30 to 40 listeners, so I can't, like, we're not getting paid by fucking vitamin water.
I fucking wish, dude.
If you guys are interested, vitamin water. If you
right, for real. Because
we'd love to have you.
The Power C, best flavor.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm all about, let's see what we got here. Focus Kiwi Strawberry.
Nice. Good choice.
All right. So we'll hop into the running backs. We're going to have to speed it along, unfortunately, because my phone's going to die and I'm using it. Goddamn iPhones don't have multiple jacks and I don't have the splitter, so I can't charge my phone right now. So we'll jump in DeAndre Swift. Honestly, landing spots wise,
I'm trying to bring up the second round because
I still think he'll go in the first.
You think he'll go first?
I'll say Miami. I think he would be a good complement with Jordan Howard there. Like, he would still be hyper relevant. He'd be the one to own out of the two of him and Jordan Howard. And he would get touchdowns vultured, unfortunately. I
didn't realize that's where Howard went.
Mm-hmm. And so I honestly think Miami would allow him to become a feature back. Howard's there on, I believe, a 1, maybe 2-year deal. But I think Swift would be able to showcase his ability. And he's elusive enough to the point where their offensive line being absolute trash right now wouldn't matter. I mean, it would matter, but not matter as much as some guys lower down the draft board.
Fair enough. I'm looking at the second round mock here on this random website just to see the order we got going on.
Mm-hmm.
No, they got the Lions taking Jordan Love at 37.
Oh, I like that. Honestly,
yeah, that wouldn't be bad. Yeah,
Stafford's got 2 years left on his deal, I believe. Maybe 1. I could be wrong. No, I think it's 2.
If his back doesn't shatter again.
Yeah.
But
yeah, that's why we don't have to throw out David Blau.
Wow.
Yeah. Or was it Trevor Siemian? Was that the other one? I can't.
Fuck, I don't know.
Yeah. Oh no, it was the former backup, that damn O'Driscoll.
Oh, that's right. God damn O'Driscolls. These guys agree with you with Swift going to Miami.
Yeah.
I don't know who else really needs a running back though.
There's quite a few. And there's a lot of these running backs are going to be taken in places where they are going to have to split time or they're going to have to win the job. The Lions are a perfect example of that with Kerryon Johnson, how injury prone he's been. They might be down on his potential now.
Because I'm looking at your list here. You have JT and Swift, and the first two.
Mm-hmm.
I like them both in Detroit.
Okay.
Just because, as you mentioned, Kerryon's injury prone.
Mm-hmm.
Their backups aren't good,
or just unlucky. We don't know if he's exactly injury prone yet, but
his history.
He hasn't quite proven it the way that Jason Moore from the Footballers would hope that he
exactly, because he's been so high on him.
Yeah.
But I like them both, honestly, going to Detroit. I do agree with you on the Miami aspect.
Mm-hmm.
That they would be a good, backup for Howard, or a good time splitter with Howard to eventually earn that spot.
Easy one for me coming up next, Jonathan Taylor. I'm going to say the Chiefs. The last pick of the first round. It's about where he is going to be drafted. He's our consensus number 1 running back in this rookie class. And honestly, I might move Dobbins above Swift. I might. I don't know how I feel. Yeah, I just – what –
Is that Ohio State bias?
No, I don't. Okay. I don't think so, because I've had him lower than Swift this entire time. But the more I get into it and delve into it, I just think I like Dobbins a little bit more. He is smaller. I mean, yeah, a tiny bit smaller than Swift weight wise, but I he carries himself like a feature back.
Yeah.
J.K. Dobbins does. But where do you like JT to go?
Like I
Jonathan
said,
Taylor Thomas.
if he's, because I don't care where he goes, the kid's going to be a fucking star.
Yeah.
That's everything I see on
3
him.
consecutive 2,000 yard seasons.
Yeah, the kid's a fucking
Wisconsin.
machine. I love him. He's, like, as you mentioned, our number one running back coming out of the draft, and it's gonna suck when I don't get him in our rookie
And
draft.
he hasn't been able to showcase his pass catching ability, but if you look at it, neither did Melvin Gordon when he played for Wisconsin.
Yeah, so. I mean, even in that, but in the combine, he was able to showcase it a bit, and that's when I really got higher on him. I would like to see him in Detroit. I think they could use a running back like him to really kind of make things happen. But I do like your choice of the Chiefs.
Okay. So moving on to Dobbins. I'm trying to think here, honestly. Going through the first couple. I'd hate to see him go to the Redskins at the beginning of the second round, which I don't – do they own their second round pick?
I'm trying to find it right now.
Who's pick 34?
Should
be the Redskins,
That's round one. I don't want round one, CBS. Get your shit together. Round two. The Colts have 34.
Oh, yes, the Colts got their pick. Boom. Nut. I think they'll go elsewhere, but I think J.K. Dobbins landing in Indianapolis. I don't believe Marlon Mack, or God, even Seattle at the end of the first round. I don't think they'll spend, with Penny coming back, on how much draft capital they just spent on him. And it's just Chris Carson's fumble issues, man. I think I'll get him run out of town.
You know who else I could think picking him up? Because David Johnson ain't going to be shit. And Duke Johnson's not doing too well these days. I mean, he's good, but
he helps your team. Yeah.
Exactly.
He's no feature back.
Exactly. So I could see the Texans coming in at pick 8 in the second round and picking him up. I think it would be a good system for him to fall into with his talents, and it'd be a nice fit.
They lose Carlos Hyde, one Ohio State running back, for J.K.
Dobbins.
Get
J.K. Dobbins.
Yeah. And then just a couple other guys that we like. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, the fantasy footballers have taken to calling him the Eclair. This Clyde.
Yeah.
Edwards, E. Claire.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, that's a bit of a stretch. We'll come up with something on our own. But I do like his pass-catching ability a lot. Joe Burrow has done everything within his power to be able to promote this man. Says it's the best athlete he's ever worked with. And I do personally like him quite a bit. So I'm just trying to think.
CBS has got him going to the Bucks, pick 13 in the second.
Okay. That makes a lot of sense. I'm going to say the Tennessee Titans. Just because Derrick Henry's on the final year of his deal. I mean, he's on a franchise tag.
And I'm sure they'll work it out and he'll be there next year.
He's a good pass-catching running back, but he'll be 26 or 27 by that time. I think they'll be willing to part with him if they take somebody like Helaire in the second round. So I think that would be a solid landing spot. They have a very good offensive line, still even losing Jack Conklin to the Cleveland Browns. Yeah, but I think that would be a solid landing spot for Helaire.
I'll agree with that. I could see, and I would like him going to the Rams, backing up Melvin Gordon, because I don't know who
Rams?
Todd Gurley. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Todd Gurley?
Yeah, the Rams.
You sure?
Chargers. No.
Chargers. There you go.
It's the Rams.
Todd Gurley plays for the Falcons now, sir. You know that.
That's right. He's going to replace Todd Gurley. Sorry.
With the Rams.
I keep forgetting he got moved.
Mm-hmm.
Or free. I don't fucking know. I'm so tired.
Yeah, he got let go. Next one.
I would like to see him go there. Mm-hmm. I could see it happen. This draft has got them taking JK.
Yeah.
To the Rams.
And then we've got Zach Moss, big, brutish, powerful dude. Does look a little bit slow on tape, but I still think is going to be as powerful as ever. I think it would be perfect for him to go to the Chargers, just because you can use Austin Eckler as your scat back, and I just don't think he's built to be a full-time running back. And like fantasy wise, he was hyper relevant when he had it to himself, but rushing wise, it wasn't quite there. Short distance, get a first down, get in the end zone. I think Zach Moss would be a perfect fit for the LA Chargers.
LA. Fair enough. So I don't know enough about him or Cam Akers here.
I'll go with Cam Akers. I'll mention the team. I have him going to the Rams. I think he would be perfect for them. And replacing Todd Gurley. Yep. So we'll move into the wide receivers. We've got CeeDee Lamb. He's our consensus number one wide receiver, just a smidge above Jerry Jeudy. I'd like his ability to make big plays. And honestly, with where he's being slotted right now, I hate to admit it because the quarterback questions, but I think the Raiders, and I think John Gruden would honestly be able to use him properly and get him involved in the game and consistently make him a wide receiver to at least his rookie season.
Yeah, I can kind of agree with you there. I would honestly like to see him go to San Francisco.
Jimmy can't throw a deep ball for shit, man. He had the lowest depth of target of all the starting quarterbacks last year. I'll disagree with you on that one. It'll be our first disagreement.
Yeah, right.
But I don't believe in Jimmy GQ. I don't.
I honestly, that's why most of that offense ran through its fucking running backs. But and
Kyle Shanahan stole all the running packages from his father, who was a running game genius as well.
Fair enough. That sounded like a good crack. I heard that one over here. That was a good one.
Yeah. All right. So as for Jerry Jeudy, I'm going to say the Jets. This has a lot to do with my belief in Sam Darnold of this being his breakout year. They did shore up a little bit of the offensive line. We'll see if Fant can play right tackle the way they hope that he can from Seattle. And, keep him safe, keep him in the pocket. He still shows flashes. Take out all the tape from the game against New England last year.
Or was it the game against the –
It was against the Pats when he was seeing ghosts.
Oh, it wasn't the Pats? I couldn't remember if it was them or the Steelers.
Yeah. So
I'm seeing ghosts, man.
God, they did him dirty by playing that.
Yeah, they did. That was so bad.
But, I think you get him a wide receiver one. With Perriman being there, that'll open things up for him, and Jamison Crowder being an amazing check down option as long as he's healthy. He's had quite a bit of injuries throughout his career. And then hopefully they can get Chris Herndon back to play decent tight end like he did his rookie here too. So.
Yeah. Well,
but I'm sure Adam Gase will fuck it all up the way he does.
I like Jerry Jeudy going to where you thought CeeDee Lamb should go. I think I would like to see him go to the Las Vegas Raiders.
Amari Cooper 2.0.
Exactly. So
with dreads.
Yep.
So
I think he'd be a good option for him there.
Now, Henry Ruggs, a lot of people are high on him. It's iffy, man, because his flashes that he's shown Tyreek Hill athleticism.
Yeah.
No, the issue that I have is he was the third receiver on his team in college. I understand one of them was Jerry Jeudy. I forget the name of the other one, but he's likely to be a first-round pick in next year's draft. I know that. But it's hard to separate yourself, especially if you can't do it in college. So I think with him going somewhere to be a number 2 would be a good option, and somewhere with a quarterback who can throw a deep ball. Now, I don't know necessarily if his offensive line can block long enough, but I think the Denver Broncos would be an awesome landing spot for him.
Yep, that's exactly where I was thinking.
Drew Lock can fucking sling it. He
can.
Jay Cutler reincarnated. Look at him. I mean, he looks just like him.
He just needs that nasty mustache.
Mm-hmm. Went to the Broncos. I mean, Cutler didn't have that gross-ass mustache until later in his career.
No, I think it was when he was at Chicago.
Yeah, so I just think I think that would be an awesome landing spot there. He has Cortland Sutton, who's bound to be at least a Pro Bowl wide receiver next year, it seems like, and to take away, some of the attention and coverage. So,
yep, you took the same spot I was going to go for, and I figured he'd be a great spot there in Denver.
All right, you got a spot for Justin Jefferson.
Justin Jefferson, Philadelphia.
Okay.
I think with his talent,
he'd firmly become the number one there.
It's not hard. Who else is there?
Exactly.
I could probably show up and be at least a wide receiver 3 in Philly. So
the broken-chested Deshaun Jackson,
exactly,
and the hyper injury-prone Alshon Jeffrey.
With the other 3 firmly going above him, I don't see anybody falling far enough, or the other ones we mentioned, I would see them falling far enough for the Eagles to get him. But the Eagles do have a dire need for a wide receiver, and I think Justin Jefferson would be a good fit for that team.
I agree. I have somebody else that I like there. I didn't put him on the list. I meant to. But we'll talk about that a little later. But Justin Jefferson, I personally, and this has nothing to do with how fantasy relevant he would be there. I just think it would be an awesome story if he went to the Saints. With him, Emmanuel Sanders, and Michael Thomas, and Jared Cook, and Alvin Kamara, I would love to watch that offense play all year.
That'd be disgusting.
And let Justin Jefferson run out of the slot, and all 3 of them can play out of the slot. Michael Thomas, Justin Jefferson, and Emmanuel Sanders.
And you got Drew Brees still slinging the ball. Like, holy fuck.
Yeah, with one of the top 5 offensive lines in the league too.
Yeah,
with Ramczyk and
fucking disgusting.
And was it Andres Pete and just all the fucking amazing offensive line talent they have there. So I think that would be an awesome spot. He wouldn't be hyper fantasy relevant there, but who knows? Emmanuel Sanders might be gone after a year. 10% in count.
I was about to say your phone cut. I knew you had 10%.
Yeah. Jalen Reagor, I honestly think the Green Bay Packers, I think, would be an awesome landing spot for him, just to be able to cancel out the amazing route running and just finesse that Davante Adams can put on corners. I think it would be nice to have a burner for Aaron Rodgers, who showed he can still throw the deep ball from time to time.
Say, I don't even know. I haven't seen his name anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So I have no opinion on him.
Cool. Easy to move on because
I have nothing. I haven't seen anything on him.
Laviska Shenault, I personally put him on here because I think it would be awesome for the Cowboys to be able to snag him in the second round.
And you and I are super high on him, especially after watching his film.
It would suck for shares of Michael Gallup, but it would be cool to see those 2 teammates reunite.
Yeah, right.
Because they both played for Colorado. So, and then I put this one on here specifically for you. Where would you like to see Chase
Green Bay?
Go?
I want to see him go to Green Bay. Every draft, I want to see him slide into the first round so bad, even though I know he probably won't. I want to see him go to Green Bay. I think he'll do good there, even if they slide him into a tight end role because of his size. But I think it would help pull away some of the targets and help out Davante Adams a bit. That way he doesn't have to carry that entire offensive or the wide receiver core on his back. Yeah, that big old load of wide receiver. 1, 2, and 3. So I'm looking down in here real quick. Real quick, too, I just want to touch on Denzel Mims. He was the guy that I slotted going to the Eagles. With Jeffrey and Deshaun still being there and being relevant if they can stay healthy, I think Denzel Mims, with the raw talent that he has and the little bit of work that he needs to get done in the NFL first, I think that would be an awesome landing spot for him, which would suck for me as a Cowboys fan. So we will get into our final fantasy. Guess who? I feel like I should I think when I edit this, I'm going to try to find the battle music and play it behind the segment for us. Yeah, if we don't get copyright fucked. I'll play it quiet enough. Yeah. All right. So you got quarterback and a running back for me. I've got a wide receiver and a tight end for you, sir. We'll alternate. All right. I'll go quarterback first. This is quarterback 23. 2,942 passing yards. That's low. 18 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. Mm-hmm. He had a 61% completion percentage. Okay. 185 rushing yards, 4 rushing touchdowns. 4 rushing touchdowns. And 2,900 yards passing. Was he injured at any point in this season? Let me double check. I think he might have been. So that takes out Drew Brees. Because if you can't remember, you know that Drew Brees was hurt. Oh, yeah, I would have known it was. Yeah.
I don't know how
game log.
Drew Brees would get 4 rushing touchdowns.
This person missed one game.
One game.
Technically like 1.5.
Wasn't Matt Ryan. I remember Matt Ryan missed like a game and a half.
The first time ever.
Not Matt Stafford, because he was not around long enough.
Right.
Can I ask NFC or AFC?
AFC.
AFC? Try to run down the list real quick. Tannehill finished higher, I thought. No, I'm going to say Ryan Tannehill.
Is that your final answer?
Yes.
You are wrong.
Damn.
Jacoby Brissett.
Yes. That makes so much
sense
now.
I thought Tannehill finished 17th.
Yeah, I thought he finished higher too, but that's I'm trying to speed through a little bit.
It was 20th. You weren't too far off.
Yeah. Wide receiver 31 finished with 188.3 points, had 58 receptions, 860 yards receiving, 7 touchdowns on 89 targets. And he did miss 4 games.
Missed 4 games.
Yes.
Did his team make the playoffs?
Yes. That's your go-to question.
I know, because it really helps me. AFC or NFC?
You got your one question, sir.
Fuck. I was trying to be cheeky.
Yeah. I'm not going to narrow the field down from 12 to 6.
I know. Missed 4 games?
Mm-hmm. With a core injury.
Well, the only core injury I could remember was Odell's after the season, and they sure as hell didn't make the fucking playoffs.
That was during the season all year, yeah.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of Tyreek's was his shoulder. He wasn't hurt.
I was wrong about the injury.
You were wrong about the injury?
Yes.
What was the injury?
Was
it Tyreek?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, you got it. That was my fault. For some reason, no, it was Deshaun Jackson had the core injury. That's what I was missing. Those skinny, slight dudes, which Tyreek Hill is way better than Deshaun. Maybe not at his peak, but we'll see.
I think this is the first one I've actually gotten right.
Yeah, I think you've gotten one before.
Or like the first one ever, maybe.
No, you've gotten one right before. Tight end number 18, we're going to snake it. Finished with 109.4 points in total, PPR scoring, 68 targets, 44 receptions, 467 yards, and 3 touchdowns. And he still finished tight end 18 while missing 7 games.
Oh, Jesus, that doesn't help me at all.
Mm-hmm. Had a real hot start to the season.
Will Disley.
No, close.
Damn.
I don't know where Disley finished. I don't think he finished nearly as high, but Evan Ingram.
Oh, okay. I knew Big Will Disley had a good start to the season. So
Big Willie energy. I don't think he played nearly enough, though.
No, I don't think he did.
Yeah, I think he got hurt like after 3 games.
I was just hoping. I miss having him in the field, so we keep talking about him.
Right.
All right. Running back 29. 410 rushing yards, 410 receiving yards, 44 receptions, 83 rushing attempts, 2 rushing touchdowns, 3 receiving touchdowns.
AFC?
Yes.
Playoffs?
Yes.
Duke Johnson?
Yes.
Yes, it instantly where my mind went. I don't know why. Like, that's why I was able to narrow it down so easily. So,
yeah, I was going to go James Conner for you. Be real shitter about it.
Yeah. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the Final Fantasy Guess Who. And that'll do it for this week's episode. Try to keep it short and light. We'll probably have one up. I'd say probably like Tuesday. Yeah, Monday, Tuesday sometime. And hopefully I would like to try and record Sunday night if we can and have it out on Monday. So that way it's like right post draft. You know what I mean? If I can figure it out, I might try to do a live thing on YouTube and see if I can talk to some people if they're interested in doing a little AMA, little
if
Q&A.
if not on YouTube. You can do it on our Facebook too.
Yep, do a little Facebook Live.
Usually that's a lot easier. It's like one button.
If you want to give us a follow, Beard Brothers Fantasy Football is our Facebook. If you want to look us up, give us a follow, a like, whatever it is that you need to do.
Same thing on YouTube and Instagram, which I'm going to start doing more with Instagram now that I'm starting to get in the groove of a lot more things.
Yeah.
Now that life's not roundhouse kicking me. So.
Yeah. And at Beard Brothers FF on Twitter if you want to give us a follow. And leave us a review. Hopefully 5 stars if you enjoy it. And then we'll be reading, once we get a couple more of those 5-star reviews, we'll be reading those off on each show and give you a shout out. So if you can put your name in there instead of some goofy ass name, we'd love to read it. So that'll wrap us up, and we will see you guys next time.
Goodbye.
I just want to thank everyone for listening, and stay safe during the quarantine. Make sure you stay home. All right, we're out.